Okay, let's dive in. We're doing a deep technical assessment of the Helios 9102 quantum engine.
Right. This is the GPU-accelerated simulation architecture from Jefferson Lucas over at Bare Metal Applied Science.
And our mission today really is to figure out how this engine gets around the biggest roadblock in quantum right now.
The Nisq era. You've got this fundamental tension between the pure, perfect math of quantum logic.
And the messy, noisy reality of the actual hardware.
Exactly. And Helios tries to bridge that gap with two key ideas: dynamic observability and metric synchronization.
And this all started because of what the sources call the thermodynamic wall. I mean, we know quantum computers are noisy, but why can't we even test something like magic state distillation on them?
It's a clock problem. It's all about speed. If you take a real machine like the SpinQ Gemini.
That's the one that uses nuclear spins.
Yeah, an NR system. It's quantum state memory. The technical term is transverse relaxation time, or T2. It only lasts for about 300 milliseconds.
Just 300 milliseconds, that's nothing. That's a fuse burning out almost instantly.
It is. The basic thermal motion, irreversible entropy, it just destroys the quantum state faster than a complex protocol can run.
So something like the 15-to-1 MSD protocol doesn't even stand a chance.
It fails before it even finishes.
So if the physical problem is this ticking clock, Lucas's solution is to just get rid of the clock.
He creates a perfect virtual environment, and that's the really radical idea here. Decoupling the algorithmic correctness from the physical fidelity of the hardware.
So in Helios running on, say, a normal RTX 3070 GPU, the quantum state isn't physical.
Right, it's just data. A complex vector sitting in memory. Thermodynamics can't touch it. The state is mathematically perfect forever unless you, the engineer, decide to inject some noise.
Which means you can debug the logic of your algorithm without waiting for access to a fragile, real-world machine.
Exactly. It's a game changer.
Okay, but if you have a perfect state, you need a perfect way to see it. That brings us to dynamic observability and this issue called pole pinching.
Yeah, this is a really interesting visualization problem. When you plot a qubit state on the block sphere, the standard tools use a grid, like latitude and longitude, on a globe.
And the lines all bunch up at the north and south poles.
Right. So you get really high density at the poles, at the 0 and 1 states, but it's sparse everywhere else, especially around the equator, which is where all the interesting magic states live.
So a small error, a little bit of phase drift, might just be invisible.
Totally invisible. And that's where the Fibonacci sphere visualization kernel comes in. It's a beautiful geometric fix.
Using the golden ratio, of all things.
Yeah, it uses the golden ratio to distribute points almost perfectly evenly across the entire sphere. It makes the visualization isotropic.
Meaning a 1-degree error looks like a 1-degree error, no matter where it is on the sphere.
You got it. It gives you true observability.
And you can get this view even if the computer is miles away on a cluster, right? Through something called headless rendering.
That's a critical engineering detail. Big HPC clusters often don't have physical displays. The EGL pipeline lets Helios render that Fibonacci sphere off-screen into a file or a video stream.
So you can still see what's happening even on a remote machine.
You can monitor and debug from anywhere.
Okay, so that's perfect seeing. Let's talk about perfect control with metric synchronization. Helios uses Lorenz-driven chaotic noise models. Why make things harder on purpose?
It seems counterintuitive, but it's actually more realistic. Chaotic systems like the Lorenz attractor look random, but they're deterministic. They model structured environmental drift like a slow temperature change in the lab way better than pure random noise.
And then a classical control loop fights against that chaos.
A proportional integral, or PI, control loop is constantly trying to stabilize the qubit. And synchronization is key, so the controller is reacting to the current state of the chaos, not a lagged old state.
But the synchronization goes even further.
It does. It fuses the quantum metrics, like fidelity, with classical system info.
Like the Qstat output from the job scheduler.
Exactly. So you, the engineer, can tell immediately. Did my protocol fail because I wrote a software bug? Or did it fail because the cluster is overloaded and throttled my job?
You can diagnose the root cause right away. Software bug or cluster issue.
Instantly. It's holistic observability.
So putting it all together for you, the listener, what Helios 9102 really is, it's a logic wind tunnel.
That's the perfect analogy. It takes the turbulence of thermodynamics out of the equation. It uses these clean visualization tools like smoke lines in a wind tunnel to let you test your designs.
You can perfect that 15-to-1 MSD protocol in this perfect virtual world over and over.
Before you ever risk it on that precious 300 millisecond window on real hardware.
And that leads to a really provocative final thought. The engine uses deterministic chaos to test control systems. So it makes you wonder, could we build much better real-world quantum control systems if we started modeling environmental noise not as random, but as predictable, deterministic chaos?
If we could characterize it that way,
Yep.
that would completely change how we design error correction from the ground up.